York on this Thursday afternoon, and a major change in character for the market today. Just as we're coming on the air here, 3 p.m. Eastern, we are looking at a market sitting at new lows for the session right now. We have the Dow off more than 3%, and that's the best performer among the three major averages. Most of the selling pressure today in the Nasdaq tech index off more than 5%. The S&P 500 right now is off some 3.8%. This coming after we saw the S&P and the Nasdaq close at record levels during yesterday's trading session. The Dow closed above 29,000 yesterday. That was the blue chip index's best close since late February. We talked on this program about having trouble coming up with a bear case for stocks, assuming that the market would eventually, or the Dow rather, would eventually join the S&P and the Nasdaq at record highs. And yet today is, I think, the kind of sort of out of nowhere kind of sell-off that we've also been talking around for some time, in the sense that what the market did in June was probably a decent template for risks that were out there for investors as we head into the fall months. Back in June, we had a major move from the Fed. That was the first time we heard from Jay Powell, where he said the Fed was not even thinking about raising interest rates. So the first real statement of intention there from the Fed. We also got better than expected economic data back in June, as we have gotten this week, and all of this adding up to an environment where I think the simplest way to say it, and we're going to talk about it obviously for the next 90 minutes, the simplest way to explain today is what had worked didn't work, is not working, and what hadn't worked is now working today. Of course, if we look at S&P sectors right now, we are going to find all 11 in the red, but financials, along with energy, the best performers here. If you look at the KBW Bank Index, takes out Berkshire Hathaway and some other names that are part of the financial sector. We have the regionals actually in the green here. KBW regionals up about 0.5%, while the KBW Bank is down 1%. Of course, that is significantly outperforming the broader market. But I'm bringing my co-host, Seana Smith, joining us here for the next 90 minutes. Seana, just for your first impressions on today's market. Obviously, a rapidly evolving situation. We'll see where things shake out. But what stands out to you as we come on the air here?
Yeah, Myles, this is so interesting. And obviously, this is some action that we haven't seen in the market like we're seeing today in quite some time. I mean, just yesterday we were talking about, hey, it's just a day or two until we're at new highs for the Dow. And then today we're seeing significant declines. The Dow off almost 1,000 points with less than an hour to go in the trading day. I think the big story here is this, I guess, the declines that we're seeing in technology. I mean, that huge sell-off there. Apple, for example, off just around 7%. But once you step back, the Dow could be having a much worse day than it is right now if we didn't see that stock split from Apple. So that's certainly something to keep in mind as we compare it to what we have seen previously and historically here for the Dow. And then, of course, the other FANG names, Facebook off 5%, Google off 5% right now, Amazon off just around 5.5%. So real selling in a lot of the names that have continued to lead the way for the market here over the last several months. So investors finding reason to sell. And then also a lot of those momentum names. So not just these big tech, big cap names, but also names like a Zoom, for example, off just around 10% right now. Peloton, that's been a work from home trade, a trade that has really been taken off over the last several months in this new coronavirus era. That stock off just around 10% today. And then, of course, maybe the biggest momentum name of them all, Tesla, that stock off just around 18% in the last three sessions, down about 9% alone today. So investors really selling a lot of those momentum names. I mean, some parts of the market clearly have gotten a bit frothy. We've heard that from a number of our market guests over the last several weeks and really over the last month or two. And this sell-off today, I think you can make the case it's long overdue in many respects when you think about how far and how fast the market has come in such a short amount of time. But right now, Myles, the question is whether or not this is just an interruption to the massive gains that we've seen recently, or if this is really the beginning of a change in trends and whether or not this is a start of a bigger pullback. So I know we're going to talk to a lot of our market guests over the next 90 minutes about that.